This is 7'4" Victor Wembanyama going up against a regular-sized guard. After catching the ball, Wemby just attacked this poor little guy with a Euro step before dropping the hammer on his head. I mean, that's just absolutely ridiculous. And in the final moments of that game, this freak of a kid just took over.
Wemby, crossing over, spinning.
There comes a time in the NBA when a generational talent steps foot inside the hardwood. From Wilt to MJ to Shaq, LeBron, and Steph, these transcendent players changed the way the game is played because of their supreme talent and sheer dominance. But in the 2023 NBA draft, there's one kid that everyone is hyping up. And let's be real here, guys. We have never seen anything quite like him ever before. Victor Wembanyama just might be the next game changer in the NBA. And because of this, the teams that are at the bottom of the standings right now are actually tanking really hard just so they can get their hands on this guy. Towering at 7'4", this kid can literally do it all. He can block shots like swatting flies. He's saucy like a guard. And he can also hit those long bombs as if he's the chef himself. And speaking of Steph, here's what he thinks about this Unicorn 2.0.
Yeah, he's like the 2K creative player. Like every point guard that wants to be 7 foot, cheat code type vibes.
Now I know that this kid is beyond ready to get drafted soon, but the real question now is the NBA ready for someone like Victor Wembanyama? First off, let's talk about the big elephant in the room, which is his absurd height. Coming from a line of tall athletes, Wembanyama currently stands at 7'4", and at just 18 years of age, there's a chance that he might have a bit of a growth spurt in the next couple of years, which is crazy given the fact that he's already considered a giant amongst giants. Now, some say that he's just 7'2", while others say that he's 7'5". But during one interview, Wemby actually revealed his real height and said,
So, like in France, we measure bare feet, and I'm 7'3" bare feet.
Okay, so when you put shoes on the court.
Yeah, I'm actually never measuring myself with shoes on, but it's got to be like 7'4" or 5", I guess.
Okay.
I mean, if this is true, this kid is going to be a problem by the time he enters the league. Well, aside from that, Wemby also has long limbs and flexes a record-breaking 8-foot wingspan. Now, to give you an idea of how big of a deal this is, let's take a look at some NBA players right now that have the longest wingspans in the NBA. From Mo Bamba, who stands at 7 foot tall with a 7'10" wingspan, to Boban, who towers at 7'4" with a 7'10" wingspan. Victor Wembanyama stands above all of them, being 7'4" with an 8-foot wingspan. As you can see in this illustration, there's no one in the league right now that has a longer wingspan than Wembanyama, and with his insane length and reach, it's basically game over when he catches the ball underneath the rim. Now, aside from talking about his outrageous physique, let's now go over and take a look at his unique skill set to see what makes this kid a 1 in a billion talent. Jason Filippi is a Europe-based scout who has worked for several NBA teams, and he said that Wemby has all the tools to become a league-changing player. The unicorn talk, it is kind of true. I'm not saying he's the next Luka Doncic. I'm not saying he's going to be the greatest player ever, but he is special. It goes beyond his size. It's the whole package. His combination of size, agility, and skill, natural instincts. That's the stuff that you can't teach. Speaking of his skills, let's now break down each of them to see how this guy is going to be unstoppable once he steps into the NBA. See, to have a clear idea of what his overall game looks like, here's Giannis breaking it down for us in simple terms.
You have to get ready, because if you're not ready, this kid's gonna be.
Is a problem, huh?
He's taller than Rudy Gobert. Wow. He's taller than Rudy Gobert, but he can block shot like Rudy, but shoot like KD. bro, crazy.
With his length and size, Wemby can swat shots anywhere around the court, whether it's from the paint, regular jump shots. And he's so agile for his size that even speedier guards don't stand a chance against him. Also, even though he can't block every shot that goes up, players would surely be intimidated by his size when they attack the lane and make them second guess about driving inside because of his sheer presence alone. Now, while he can easily block shots on defense, Wemby is just too tall and lengthy that his shots have become virtually unblockable on offense, since he can just shoot right over people. And speaking of his shooting, When was the last time you saw a big man that has a smooth shooting stroke like this? Plus, his outside game is also pure as he can hit threes in both catch-and-shoot situations and on the run. Now, out of all the amazing stuff that he can do on the floor, his handles and footwork are definitely the most underrated skills that he has in his bag. I mean, check these out.
Get into practice and you guys get in the flow of things. Who is it that you're going to take on first? You're going to say, okay, me and you, shooting contest.
There's literally nothing this guy can't do on offense, be it a Euro step, a step back, or tough fadeaways. With this kind of skill set, he can easily create mismatches on offense. And in case the double team shows up, Wemby can simply just pass to the open guy, as he can see above his defenders, which will translate to an easy basket for his team. Because of his complete package, people have been labeling him as some sort of Unicorn 2.0, but for LeBron, he's entirely something else.
We're labeling like this unicorn thing. Everybody's been a unicorn over the last few years, but he's more like an alien. No one has ever seen anyone as tall as he is, but as fluid and as graceful he is out on the floor. He's for sure a generational talent.
In France's top-tier league, LNB Pro A, Wembanyama is stuffing the stat sheet by averaging 22.9 points a ball game while shooting 56.2% from the field, 28.7% from distance, and 80% from the foul line. In addition, he also grabs 7.4 rebounds per ball game and registers 3.2 blocks per outing. Wemby just recently became the youngest player to win the MVP in the French League All-Star Game, and while everything seems to be trending upward for this kid, there are some people that are not yet on board with the Wembanyama hype train, as they believe that he'll suffer the same fate as his unlucky predecessors. I mean, it's no secret that big men of his size are usually prone to getting injured easily, and the best comparison that I have here for him is Kristaps Porzingis. The guy is about the same frame as him, and he plays almost exactly like Wemby. But see, although he was able to play a lot of games in his first 3 years, he eventually tore his ACL in his 4th season, and since then, he has never played more than 60 games for the remainder of his career. Now, I'm really hoping that Wemby can overcome this big man syndrome, and in order to do that, he has to put on some muscles and weight so that he can withstand the punishment that will be thrown at him. Shaq once called out Wembanyama for this, and he said that it's definitely going to be a big challenge for him to go up against the prominent bigs in the NBA.
Cheat code type vibes, but he's a solid talent. It's a pretty entertaining game with the Ignite team, so it's dope.
He's incredible, man. Like, I believe in 2045, everybody is going to look like Victor. But the way his skills, the way he can shoot the ball, the way he can move, he's extremely fast for his size, can block shot. He's unbelievable.
That type of talent and skill.
Despite this small setback, most basketball pundits and analysts still believe that he's going to be the next big thing in the NBA. And in an interview, Wemby backed up the hype by sending this strong statement. "I'm gonna tell you something that's been going on in my life, like for my whole life. Since I've been a kid, even before I played basketball, I've always tried to do something different. I'm not even talking about sports, whatever, any field. I'm always trying to be original. Something original. Something one of one. Something that's never been done before. And this is really how it worked in my life. I don't know where it comes from. I think I was born with it. I've always been trying to be original. Unique. That's the word." So what do you guys think? Do you think Victor Wembanyama will dominate in the league, or is he all hype? Let us know in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to click on this next one on your screen. Go ahead and click it. It's free.